Very special guest in the building.
Yeah, are we live?
Yeah, been live, bro.
Yeah, we're live, bro. We live.
All right, so it's Big Wavy Roy Johnson. What's going on, everyone? We good?
Yes.
How's isolation treating everyone?
Oh, bro, it's hard, fam.
You know, I don't actually. I'm not minding it too much. Like, I've got a list of things that need doing around my flat, so I'm just going around ticking them off. I actually like being on my own. The only thing that I'm missing is going to the gym and wrestling. So
yeah, I could imagine. Like, to be fair, I've been self-isolating for like 2 weeks now, so I've kind of like gotten into a routine of like waking up, working out, just like crossing things off my list, and then PlayStation.
Yeah. PlayStation's getting bad right now as well.
But yeah, I can imagine. Like, I know, like in the next like 2 or 3 weeks, like 2-3 weeks, I'm just gonna be over it. Be completely tired, man.
Yeah, no, I can't hear that. Well, like, I just come back from Miami.
Oh, how was that?
And dead. Like, basically, my dad lives in Miami, so I went to go and see him. But then the time I went, it was what was meant to be spring break time.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, I've got like a friend who lives out there, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll take him to all the spots during spring break and stuff." I was thinking, wicked. That's like, I've always wanted to tick spring break off my list of my bucket list or whatever. But as soon as I got there, beaches got locked off, all the bars got locked off, clubs got locked off, restaurants got locked off. The gyms got locked off. Basically, just couldn't do anything. So I'm in Miami, and I was sat in the house with the dog. So but then I was getting so bored because American TV is terrible.
Yeah.
Like, they got 800 channels and nothing's on.
There's too many adverts.
And so many adverts as well.
And there's only sometimes you can, bravo, yeah, it's terrible. And there's only so many times you can take a dog for a walk.
Yeah.
So I was dying to get home, so I could like have my own TV and my PlayStation and stuff. So now I'm home. I'm a little bit. I'm all right. I'm enjoying it actually at the moment. It's just funny times going on in the world.
Absolutely crazy.
No, it is.
Pray that everyone just stay safe, essentially.
Yeah, basically.
So yeah, we've got Roy Johnson in the building. So Roy, just first off, like, just want to know, how did you get your start within the wrestling industry?
I've always been doing like sports and athletic stuff and what have you. Like, I've always wanted to. I've been a wrestling fan basically my whole life, and I've always wanted to try it out. But I always had the thought that I wasn't big enough, or I might not be good enough to do it. So I kind of thought, yeah, maybe just put that on the back burner and do what I'm good at. So when I was at uni, there's been like 3 stages of my life where I thought about becoming a professional wrestler. First was when I went to university, and I went to uni, and I was like, right, I need to do something because going to the gym is just not enough for me. I need to have something to focus on or whatever.
What uni did you go to?
Coach?
Nottingham Trent.
Oh, Nottingham Trent. Okay, cool. I thought you were gonna say something like Portsmouth. Because that's where because there's a big wrestling big wrestling fan base down there, isn't it? So.
Oh, okay. No, so I kind of played American football for a bit. I decided over wrestling and American football. I chose American football, so I played that for a bit at uni. And then when I graduated from uni, I was like, right, I need to kind of do something still, because going into the working life is not for one. Be something to like enjoy myself on the weekends or whatever. So I could carry on playing American football. I started training for a bit with the London Panthers, I think. I can't remember those. Basically, the team. I live near Sellers Park, so I think it was the London Panthers. They trained like right around the corner from me. So I went down to train there once, and some guy just decided he didn't like me because I played for Nottingham Outlaws and their rivals to his team, and he roughed me up like big time in training. I finished training, and like my right ear was 3 times the size of my left ear. And I was like, you know what? I can't be coming to work looking like this every Monday. So it's like, you know what? I'm gonna dead the American football. I'll do something else. Then I thought wrestling or powerlifting. I chose powerlifting, so I got convinced into doing it. So I did that for about 5 years. Got really good at it. Like lifted internationally, nationally, European championships, world championships, all that sort of stuff. And then I had one competition where I kind of hurt my knee, and I thought to myself, you know what, like, you don't make any money from this. You will just spend loads of money. You're getting hurt. Like, just knock it on the head, do something else, like, because the enjoyment's coming out of it or whatever. So around about them times, I started going to watch independent wrestling shows. So I went to one of my good friends. I'm out in Miami randomly, WrestleMania 28 weekend. He took me to watch Progress Wrestling. These guys.
Yeah, Progress is sick, man.
Yeah.
It's
So
fun to watch.
like, this is like back in like chapter 9, I think, and they're on like 103 or something now. Yeah. So I went down there with him, and I was like, wow, I didn't know there was like well, I knew there was a British wrestling scene because I'd seen British wrestling when I was at uni, and it was terrible. Like, really, really bad. Like, family stuff.
Terrible.
Oh, it was awful. Like, I saw this one show in Nottingham when I was at uni, and Gangrel was meant to make an appearance. Because Gangrel was
sick.
I didn't know this at the time, but he regularly did like UK shows back in the day. Okay. Yeah, he was touring UK quite a lot. And basically, me and my mate at uni, we went to go because we both want to see Gangrel. Gangrel no-showed. They had Jake the Snake in to replace him.
Jake the Snake.
These times when Jake the Snake was not in a good way. So like, he kind of like limped himself down the ramp, came in the ring, did like a really sloppy DDT, and then left.
That's mad.
Yeah. and like, everyone else on the show was like really hokey or out of shape and whatever. And I thought, you know what, this isn't for me. But I went to watch Progress, and I was like instantly hooked by it because it was completely different. It's very much like Attitude Era, ECW vibes kind of thing. So so anyway, so I was watching that for a bit. They went to one show that was like a mix between the pros and the trainees because they had a wrestling school. And I was chatting to one of the wrestlers at the bar, and he was like, "Oh, you're in really good shape. You should like think about wrestling." And I thought about it, and I thought, yeah, maybe, but again, but then them doubts about whether I'll be good at it, like it might take away my passion for wrestling as a wrestling fan or whatever. Because I guess once you've gone to the other side of the barrier, it's really hard to come back. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like if you're a big fan of something and then you get to participate in it and then it take away your love for it. Like, I resent having to go back to being a fan.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with being a fan, of course, but it's because, like, you know, I tried and I failed kind of thing. Yeah. But God, I'm rambling. God, this story is long.
That's good. No, this is really hear this, bro.
Yeah.
Wait, before you continue, I wanted to ask, what was your first day of training like? Because I'm not gonna lie to you, we've like been talking about like we all have one match. That's it. But we want to train for that one match. That's all. So, what was your first day of training like?
I'm not gonna lie, it's really hard.
You're not selling this to me, man.
That's the thing. Like they deliberately make it hard for you because to weed out people who because wrestling is hard anyway. Like it's a hard thing. Like training's hard. Like wrestling itself's hard. The lifestyle's hard. But they want to make sure like the people who are coming to the wrestling school, they want it and they're committed to it. So they make the first few sessions hard or whatever. But I went on holiday one year, and I was sat there thinking, I need to start because at the time I was approaching 30, and I thought, you know what, I need to start ticking some things off my bucket list, and one of them was like wrestling training. So a couple of months later, I was just sat at home on Friday night, and decided, right, I'm gonna pack a gym bag and just drive to the nearest wrestling school the next day. That was the Progress Wrestling School. Did that, and then I never looked back really. Went to one session. Hated it, but I loved it. Like loved it because it's, you know, I'm learning what I'm passionate about, what I want to do. Hated it because it was such hard work. I've been like gym training for like years and played other sports and whatever. I've never been in so much pain after one wrestling session. Like it took me a whole week to recover from one session.
Oh my gosh!
When you mean pain,
I might just become a manager.
What sort of pain
you talking?
DOMS.
It's like extreme DOMS from like a lot of like it's like a lot of conditioning stuff, and then when you factor in like bumping and rolling as well. And the end of it, it's like I got back and just sat on my sofa and I didn't move for the rest of the evening.
I don't blame
But
you,
for
bro.
some strange reason, I kept coming back.
Yeah,
And it's kind of like a callus, like you kind of like, well, bumping anyway. Bumping is definitely like a callus, like you get used to it, and then it doesn't hurt anymore. Then once it stopped hurting me, I was training like 4 or 5 times a week, like wrestling training. I was like going to the gym before work, and then going wrestling training after work, and just doing that constantly. And I did that for like a few months, and then I got to a stage where they're like, "Okay, you're match ready. Go get yourself some wrestling gear and think about like wrestling stuff." So yeah, but that was so that's, I guess, how I got into the business. Progress was the place that I trained at and the place that I made my debut.
and you were
Trained by Darryl Allen and Jimmy HAVOC.
Jimmy HAVOC, yeah, I was gonna say that. That's sick. Jimmy HAVOC is like AEW, like he's known for being like very like off the cuff and just like going mad, innit? Like, how was it getting trained by Jimmy HAVOC?
Inexperience, because Jimmy's quite old school in how he got trained. Like he got like I said, they make it hard for you coming into the business to make sure that the people who are doing it want it.
Yeah.
So like the first time I met Jimmy HAVOC, I was helping out crewing at one of the Progress shows. And like, it's a big thing in wrestling to make sure, like, when you meet someone for the first time, introduce yourself, offer your hand to hand, shake the hand, or whatever. And even when you go to shows, anyway, people you know, it's kind of etiquette to shake everyone's hand when you get to the show and that. So I see Jimmy, and I know this. People told me this. I'm like, okay, see Jimmy, like, right, got a good impression of Jimmy HAVOC because like he's one of the big trainers. He's a big deal. He was Progress Wrestling champion at the time.
Yeah.
Put my hand up to shake his hand. He just walked straight past me. I was like, oh
man.
Okay.
Rafted.
He's trying to put the fear into
This week, lose this kid.
Yeah.
Trying to put that fear into you from
early, fam.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, well, that's me meeting Jimmy then. But I was kind of determined to make a good impression in that. So I was chatting to him, I think another Progress show after the show or whatever, and I introduced myself again. This time he was talking to me because we were at a bar, and he kind of put the fear of God in me. It's like, well, you've introduced yourself to me now, so you have to come to my training session next week. If you don't come to my training session, don't ever come to my training session ever again, kind of thing.
Whoa.
You got no choice there, mate, innit?
Yeah, so he stuck it on me, and I think he had a few to drink, and he was just staring a hole right straight through me.
Shit.
So I thought, right, okay, well, I'm gonna go anyway. So I turned up, and Jimmy's like quite known for like pranking people and that sort of thing when you first meet him. So when I got there, he like asked me to introduce myself, and I was like, "Oh yeah, we spoke the other day. You told me to come down to the session." He's like, "No, I didn't. Why are you here? Like,
Whoa.
how long have you been training?" And I told him, and he's like, "You haven't been training long enough to come to my sessions." All this, and I was like,
"What?"
Okay. And then you just carry on with the sessions or whatever. Like Jimmy's sessions were notoriously hard anyway, so like, whatever. For like a newcomer, it is what it is. Like, if I get things wrong, he shout at you, and then you get it right. So it's kind of how it was. And then at the end of the session, he's like, "Oh, by the way, I was just joking about you not coming here. I knew you were coming. I was just testing you out, kind of thing." That's what Jimmy HAVOC was like. And there were times where, like, it's only like me and a couple other people go to a session because they were notoriously hard, and if people had the option to not go, they probably wouldn't go. But I wanted to learn, and if I had the opportunity to learn, I'd go. So there was one particular time where me and one other wrestler who's now left the business, but like we were just practicing wrestling on the fly, like kind of without planning and stuff. And we messed up one thing, and Jimmy just basically just made us wrestle, just doing like things out of headlocks. So one of the most basic things. It made us do it for 3 hours. So
what were you doing headlocks for 3 hours? You just said.
Yeah, just working headlocks for 3 hours.
Oh, I thought you just like like a good 3 hours, just headlocking each other. Bro.
Basically, me and this one guy were in a headlock. I had him in a headlock. I'd work out of it. He put me in one. We'd reverse. We'd do blah blah blah. We were doing that for 3 hours, just me and him. So Jimmy HAVOC was hard work, but at the end of the day, it made me a better wrestler. It's made countless other people who he's trained a better wrestler, and he's like a fantastic trainer, and he's actually a really good guy. You get to know him, so yeah.
Sick,
and we're
man.
friends now. So
Hey.
So how did you come up with the whole big Wavy? Because I think when I first knew, like, found out who you were, and I saw your promo on the WWE UK tournament and the whole rapping and repping the whole Croydon thing. For me, it was kind of like, wow, this is sick. Like, to be able to see someone that's like me, that kind of has like, just from someone from ends, basically just being like in the WWE kind of like forum. Like, how was that for you?
Like, when I first started wrestling, my gimmick was like a powerlifter, which is really boring. Fans can't really not react to it, they can't relate to it, can't connect with it, and that sort of thing. And I don't know if you know much about British wrestling, but some guys I trained with, Sebastian and Tom Irvin, to tag together as the Geezers. Sebastian said to me, "Oh, you should do a roadman gimmick," and I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, you should do a roadman gimmick." No, sorry, that's not what happened. Sorry, we were at training and we do a match practice, and we had this thing we put a gimmick out of the hat. And I picked a roadman gimmick, so I did this roadman gimmick at training, and everyone was loving it. And Sebastian said, "You should do that gimmick, because if you do that, you get booked all over the country."
That's it.
Okay.
Nah, you're joking. It's like, first of all, people might find it offensive. I understand it. Blah blah blah. Whatever. I'm talking in like South London slang, and I go and wrestle in Manchester. Like, what? You know what I mean? People aren't gonna get it or whatever. But I thought, what? I got nothing to lose, so I did it. And then, like, lo and behold, I was getting booked all over the country.
That's it.
I pitched this thing called the Wasteman Challenge.
Oh yeah, tell us a bit about that.
So I've basically John Briley, who one of the co-promoters, co-owners for Progress, he used to come, because Progress owned the training school. He used to come quite regularly to watch. And we finished training a bit early, and he had a little bit of time. He's like, "Oh, does anyone pitch any ideas to me?" And like, John notoriously says no to a lot of things. So I said to him, "I want to do this thing called the Wasteman Challenge." He's like, "Okay, go on." I was like, "Well, we'll have an open challenge thing, and it'll either be like a wrestling match or like a rap battle. But I call it the Wasteman Challenge because I think everyone in the back, everyone who's like, all the other wrestlers on the roster, they're all wastemen, but they have to prove themselves to me that they're not." So that's where the whole idea came from. And it was like, the original idea was like a offshoot from, remember Rodney Mack?
Rodney Mack, yeah.
You know, Mr. Mack militant.
Yeah. So it was like an offshoot from that. So I kind of incorporated that into my gimmick, and that got like super over, and then it got me like regularly booked on Progress. Like probably before I was ready to. Like looking back, like my in-ring ability wasn't quite what it is now, and what it probably might should have been for like them caliber kind of shows. But I guess my look and my gimmick and my talking ability and so and all that sort of stuff was kind of there, maybe even above people they're using. So that's what got me through. And I did one Wasteman Challenge segment at a Progress show where William Regal was watching.
Oh, okay.
So basically, Regal was like, he just came over. I think he was like looking at Pete Dunne and Zach Gibson at the time, I think.
Okay.
And he just happened to be at the show that I was on. So I was like, right, I really need to nail this segment kind of thing.
Yeah.
And did this Wasteman Challenge. I was answered by Jack Sexsmith. We did this back and forth thing. I spit some bars to, what was it? I think it was Trek 138. Yeah, I think it was that. And it's like, I basically speak out of track. Okay. So it's really hard. I couldn't, if I mess it up, like,
it's over, isn't it?
Over, yeah. And I can't rap, I can't spit, I'm not that talented. So I was like, I need to just nail this. And I did, like, luckily. And after the show, I was getting some feedback of William Regal, and he was like, "Oh, I had no idea what you were saying out there, but it was really entertaining."
That's true.
Regal would say that, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
What a legend.
And then he was just like, "Look, how long have you been wrestling?" told him that was actually my 25th match or something. And he was like, oh, for you, like your 25th match, you're like way far ahead of like, where I was at that stage, kind of thing. He said, just keep doing what you're doing. Like, we've got our eyes on you now. Like, we might come back, you know, offer you something like trial or whatever in a year. So like, cool. Okay, that's cool. So that was July 2016. I think it was November 2016. I got a message from kind of like I say, Jim Smallman, who runs Progress, says, "Oh, I might have some work for you if you're interested with the WWE. Awesome. Just let me know." I was like, yes.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, of course, man.
How can you say no?
Trust me.
Tell me the details, kind of thing. And like, because it was like November time, and he said that it was work for January, and I was like, well, I know they don't come over here until like November. Well, no, they come over in November and like April, May to do the UK tour. So I thought, I don't know what it was about, kind of thing. So anyway, I gave him my details. William Regal called me up when I was sat at home. Just started mind my own business playing FIFA. Just got this phone call from Connecticut. Yeah.
No, just calling you like that, you know. I'll be scared to pick up for him.
Yeah, because I got a heads up, so it wasn't like a complete shock.
So you were just chilling there like this, bro, just chilling there, just rocking back and forth. No,
because like he said, they might call you, they might not, kind of thing. So I was like, okay, whatever. So they got my details. If they do, they don't. At that stage, I was like, well, everything is rolling so well with wrestling anyway. Like, if they don't, something might come up down the line. I'm not stressing about it, kind of thing. So I just sat there playing FIFA. My phone rang, looked at the caller ID, said Connecticut, and I'm like, wow, okay. Wow.
Getting real.
You know, we Connecticut calls. You know what that is.
That's that good shit.
It's like, I don't know anyone who lives in Connecticut, so I've got to kind of answer this kind of thing. Answered it, was Regal. Quick call, like he's kind of said, oh, they're doing this UK tournament. Actually, no, he didn't even mention it was a tournament. So they're doing this UK project. Am I interested in doing it? And I was like, yeah. Cool. I was saying, you'll get an email like asking you for some details, send you some more details when we have them, because we're very much we don't know what's going to be yet. We're sketching out plans, blah blah blah. So anyway, that happened. I sent all my details back, and then kind of the rest is kind of history. But with regards to the promo, taking it back to the original question, I was backstage at the Blackpool event when we were doing our kind of rehearsals, getting used to how everything works, blah blah blah. And Mr. Regal came up to me and said, Roy, I need you to do a promo for our .com. I was like, okay, cool, that's fine. He goes, yeah, I want you to do a rap on Pete Dunne. I was like, okay, right, give me a day and I'll put something together and whatever. So yeah, okay, that's fine. Katie came back to me about 10 minutes later saying, Roy, we need you to do that promo tonight. I was like, okay, all right, that's not a problem. Right, I'll go back and figure something like, shit. Yeah. So I sat down on my own.
I know, because you think to yourself like, raw, a day, okay, fair enough.
I took myself on my own. I was thinking, like, what can I put? That kind of stuff. And then came back to me, it's like, Roy, I'm ready for you now. I was like, oh, okay. So I went to the promo area, and it was Charlie Caruso who was kind of doing this interview with me. And then we were doing the whole thing, and like, this rap just came out of my head, but like, I had the rap down, but there's certain there's like timing bits, and then there's bits I'd fluff up, and I kept wanting to do it again. But yeah, we got it in the end. It's just really like kind of nerve-wracking because you get put in that situation, like it's all a bit mad, and people stood there watching you, like
you just thinking about it. Like, did you have that thing in the back of your head, like, oh, what are people going to say online, and how are people going to take this, or were you confident about it? You
because the thing is, like, because I didn't think it was going to get that much exposure. I thought it'd be like on their website or whatever, like, people will review it or whatever. But because I'm not used to, at that level, I wasn't used to much exposure or anything, so I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, of course.
So I know the WWE Twitter account tweets it out. So
spreads like wildfire.
Yeah, then my phone was getting like hot with all these mentions and like blah blah blah, and then they put it on their YouTube account, and it was one of them things where it was very Marmite promo. Like people were like, "This is the best promo I've seen like in years," or like people were like, "What is this? What is this idiot? Like, what's he doing?" kind of thing. Like, this is terrible. It was like either love it or hate it. That's kind of how it was. And then like somehow the UK Grime Twitter account picked it up, and they like retweeted it, and then like MVP found it somehow, and then like and MVP was like raving about it and all this sort of stuff, and then like me and MVP become like good friends since as well, which is quite cool. But
MVP's my guy, man.
Yeah, he was mine as well. He was mine as well. So it's quite funny though when we're like quite tired, we speak every so often. But I wanted to have this character that I guess urban youth, I don't want to say just like young black youths or whatever, but urban youths can kind of relate to him, because there's nothing like that on
of course,
like, in the there wasn't anything like that in the industry. There definitely wasn't anything like that in British wrestling. And obviously you have that, like people like that in the WWE. You got like New Day, you got Street Profits, you know.
Yeah, but you see, when I look at them, it's like it's an American type of
exactly.
That's what I'm trying to say. There's no one in the industry that will have that British type of because everyone thinks with tea and crumpets. It's not that. You see where I'm coming from? So like, you're definitely bringing that approach, and like I said, that's salute to you, man. Definitely.
That's why I think the promo is so important, because when I saw it, I was just like, wow, okay, this is someone I could look at my little brother like. This is someone like us. You know what I'm saying? This is someone.
And that's why I did it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why it's important for me to do it, because the UK tournament was the first one they've ever done. They had people from all over different parts of the country. They had like Scottish representative, they had Welsh representative, they had Irish, they had like, you know, Manchester, Midlands, Birmingham, like all that. And I was the only guy from like, well, at the time I was the only guy from London. They had Danny Birch as well, so he kind of represents a kind of Cockney London kind of thing.
Yeah.
I want to represent like
in South London.
Yeah. And I want to represent what I see in London, like the South London, Croydon kind of. I guess I wouldn't even say a roadman, because I'm not a roadman.
Yeah.
And why would a roadman be wrestling? Like it's
I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
Like an urban guy, basically.
You don't necessarily need to be road, but you're just being you, I guess.
Exactly, yeah. A guy from Ends is into things, who's into things a guy from Ends is into. Like, that's, I want to portray that on a bigger platform and have people who are into that kind of thing. Like, that's my guy. That's the guy I want to root for this tournament and beyond kind of thing. So that's where it came from.
I think you just doing that, it opens a lot more doors, like for people to kind of look into wrestlers like that. There's a wrestler that I discovered maybe like 2 years ago as well. I think you've tagged up with him a few times. Is it Alex Rothmore?
Alex Roth, yeah. Well, good, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he kind of fits between Roth and Rothmore. But he's also from Ends as well. He's from Croydon, so like so that's we have that thing in common. We teamed a few times. We're in a stable called the 8-7. So I spent a lot of time with him actually. So yeah, we're quite similar in that aspect. But he's very much like his wrestling personas himself.
Yeah,
he's not kind of in between an actual like maybe defined set gimmick kind of thing. He's just himself, and like I said, he's from the same area as me, so we kind of got that kind of connection.
So how was the whole tournament experience for you, and like as a general, like how was it meeting Triple H? How was it, you know, meeting the other guys that you probably hadn't met before, and then just the whole tournament weird, as a whole?
It was all a bit surreal, because like I said, it all came from nothing. So from the time that they called me and I filled out all this paperwork and and then we had to meet up and do these like our physicals and our like photo shoots and all this hush secret stuff that no one knew about, and then the press. So like, and I had like, before this all happened, I had like a really bad wrestling match. I really didn't like. I was kind of like, I'm probably not maybe I'm not cut out for this kind of thing. Had that, and the next thing I know, next week WWE calling me. So it's all a bit. Everything happened really quickly to the point where I couldn't really take it all in. And yeah, it was just mad. Like, obviously, firstly, like meeting Regal and then having a conversation with him on the phone about him offering you like work and stuff. That's mad as it is, because I've grown up watching him wrestle, been like a big fan of his and what have you. I'd met him like, I think maybe 4 years before that happened, but I was as a fan, so it was a bit different. I got this picture of me and him holding a Union Jack flag somewhere from WrestleMania 28 when I was a fan. So it's all a bit mad. And then you go there and then you sit down with Nigel McGuinness and Michael Cole, and they're asking questions about yourself, about your wrestling show, and I'm like, I've been watching these guys for like forever.
Michael Cole, that's mad, you know.
Michael Cole's like, he's like the voice of like wrestling.
Yeah, of course. He's a goat. He's a goat. I hate when people kind of slam them off and say that Michael Cole's not a good announcer. He's a very good announcer.
He's fantastic. He's fantastic. He wouldn't have been doing it for like 25 years if he was.
Exactly.
So it was terrible. So, but yeah, he sat there asking me questions about myself. So he has things to talk about me on the tournament. Stuff like that's just all kind of crazy. And then I've been like sat with like Regal and Brookside for like 2 days, just chatting with them, and then all of a sudden Triple H walks into this room, and like Triple H was my guy back in the day. Like it's all crazy, and like and like he's a very like big, intimidating guy as well. Like
Triple H, yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine, bro.
Big guy. This guy could make or break my life, kind of thing.
I always imagine Triple H looking through just doing this, bro. Like just doing that, bro.
No, he's got a big, powerful walk and them fingers, and it's like, wow, this is Triple H. He's giving us this pep talk, and it's like after he's finished talking, I'm like, yeah, I really want to go out and wrestle now. Like, let's go do it, kind of thing. So that's all mad. But at the UK tournament, we didn't really get to meet a lot of people because it was just UK guys. And a lot of the guys who I was doing a tournament with, I'd known anyway from like being on shows with and like being around pro wrestling and stuff. So that element of it was cool. Like I got to meet like Finn Balor, who's like someone whose career I've been following as well. Like he just came to, I think he was injured at the time, so he came to announce the tournament, and then he was just there for, I guess, to give the tournament a bit more star power or what have you at the time. Since then, I did like a house show with WWE UK, and that in itself was a bit mad. When I did the NXT UK last year, like Shawn Michaels was there, and Shawn Michaels is my favorite wrestler of all time.
Yeah.
All time. But by that point, it's kind of like it's Shawn Michaels. Like you kind of get used to it after a while. It's a bit weird.
Yeah,
like,
I get what you mean. Yeah.
But yeah, like WWE themselves, like they're really, really like professionally run company. They treated us like superstars. They treat me like a superstar throughout the whole like experiences I've had with them. Like put me up in hotels, on my travel, all that sort of stuff. So it's always I've nothing but good to say about the company. So
that's it. That's lit, man. That's lit, bro. That sounds like a dream, fam.
Like it was. It was.
So, but yeah.
Speaking of, Zach, I got a random question to ask you.
This is VRSYJNES, by the way.
Related. Oh, same. Yeah, what's going on? It's VRSYJNES. Fellow South Londoner, so I'm rapping, of course. You put out this tweet, yeah. It was 4 non-wrestling references. You had Joanne from Phone Shop. You had Stormzy. You had Rose Safe, and you had Victor from Big Brother. Tell me, how does that relate to wrestling? You're saying that's influenced you.
Well, like the first thing I was told, and kind of when I was going into wrestling, like from Tom Irvin, he gave me a lot of advice when I was coming up in wrestling. He's like, when you're having your wrestling character, you want to think of a backstory, and then backstory, gimmick, and then like within that gimmick, things outside of wrestling that influence that gimmick. Because if I think of things inside of wrestling that influences my gimmick, it's already been done, kind of thing. I guess the phone shop thing, Joanne from Phone Shop, like people used to say, I look like him, but like.
They're mocking it. They're taking the piss.
No, when I was younger, I did. I had like a bit of a. When I didn't have the beard, and I had like a kind of rounder face kind of thing, and I had the same haircut as well. So I kind of did look like him a bit, but like how his character in that program is probably how I saw myself. Like, well, I was a little bit more grown up. If that makes sense. Because
like you're a mix of him and Ashley, slightly. A bit
yeah. It's like, and like that was like kind of influenced my character. When I was watching, when I was like training to become a wrestler, and I was looking at things, I spent a lot of time studying things, like watching wrestling, watching like moves I might want to do, or like how certain wrestlers walk to the ring and how they carry themselves, and then I watched things outside of wrestling, like Phone Shop. I sat and watched 2 series of Phone Shop, like through the whole way, just to pick up on little things that like Joanne does and that sort of thing. Because I was like, I want to kind of have that kind of element to my wrestling gimmick. And then I follow Victor on Twitter, so like certain things he says on Twitter that makes me laugh, and I think that's a bit of Roy. That is, that's kind of it's a little bit of Roy Johnson. So I might kind of use that kind of element of stuff in there as well, and then. Roll safe, like I was kind of getting the idea of like my character was a heel, like the Roadman heel kind of thing, and in that like people don't really, no one really likes the Roadman, do they? So the character itself has to be heel, but then I was getting over, and it got to a point where like people were going to turn me face, and I didn't really want to be face. But like if I'm going to be face, I need to think of characteristics that people are going to want to see. And then Roll Safe came about, and her documentary was about, and I was watching that, and I was like, and like people were like saying, "Oh, have you seen this? Have you seen this?" Like people of all sorts of like color, like religion, whatever. Have you seen this guy? He's hilarious. And I was like, yeah, people like him, but he's from ends. And I was thinking, why? And I was trying to work out why it is they like him, and I clocked kind of like. He's from ends, but he's an idiot. Like, he's an idiot. Like, he thinks he's a bad man, but he's not.
No, but yeah.
Like, he's not really about that life. So, like, that's why people like him, because they don't feel threatened by him. Yeah. So I thought, right, that's if I'm gonna take my character as a face, I have to move down that direction. I think.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Because it's true.
The Stormy thing, which is like kind of the waistband challenge kind of thing. I stole his cadence from his freestyle, so I just thought,
And he's one of your neighbors as well. He's from Croydon as well, so it only makes sense.
Yeah, well, like the video to Shut Up was filmed behind my flat. So
madness. That's mad.
See, 7 degrees of separation.
Trust me, fam.
Yeah.
That's the rest of you, man. If you man were to pick like 3 characters who to like inspire your wrestling gimmick, who would you guys pick?
Me personally, I'll put Kel.
Who?
Kel from Keenan and Kel.
I thought you said Iron Sheik.
No. Hey, Kel. Hey, this, you know what it is, yeah? These men always get onto me because I'm more of like I like love like vintage wrestling, so like 90s wrestling. That's my thing, innit? Like when I mean like Ultimate Warrior and them, man, innit? These men always get onto me about that. But
that's like Lou Fez and Bruno Sammartino
and that.
Hey man,
they're one of the legends, bro. Respect it still. But
the legendary stuff.
Trust me, fam. So Kel Mitchell, I don't even know, bro. I was just offended.
You might know my one already.
Of course,
you might know my one already.
AJ Styles, isn't it?
I'm VRSYJNES, fam. Come on.
Desperado.
Yeah, I think I'll go for Kel, The Rock, and Bobby Lashley. Actually, not even Bobby Lashley. Can I say Bobby Lashley? No, let me change Bobby Lashley.
You mean Bob Bankran? Yeah, that's what you meant to say.
You man are trying to troll me too. Hey, I'll give you this. What's it? Goku.
Okay, I've never heard that before.
All right.
So it's like we can play about, we can joke, but when it's time to things, we roll in it. Because Goku's pretty much that funny character which he can flip, he can switch it in it. Do you get what I mean? And there's different types of it. So yeah, look at me trying to explain myself from.
Hey man, if you know your thing, you know your thing in it. So no one can tell you nothing about your character. You know your character. That's it.
Yeah. What about you, Versy? Sam?
Me, I've always a bit of Spider-Man because I feel like I just joke around a bit. The Undertaker, of course, but I don't mean in terms of the dead man because I can't do all that dumb eyes rolling back. I can't do that. I'd rather do like biker Undertaker. I'd rather do a biker Undertaker to just be me. I feel like that Undertaker was just a bit more of Mark Calloway, so you kind of saw that side and what he enjoyed in terms of the motorbike and that. Like, I wouldn't mind doing that. And then also like a Batman persona. So like I said, a bit of a dark persona, but at the same time, just be jokey at the same time. Do you know what I mean? But I can get dark and serious too. Especially if you mention my family or something.
That makes sense. V. Where's V?
I'm here, bro.
Listen, V's and the sellers, man.
You said. Wait, did you say who did you say? Was it just the whole of Roadside G's?
Roadside G's AJ Styles, fam.
Okay. I'm trying to think who that'd be.
Playing repping South.
That'll be Chris Jericho, fam.
No. Nino Brown from New Jack City.
Oh shit!
As a heel.
Oh,
Nino Brown.
Okay.
Maybe a bit of like Michael Jackson Thriller. And Vegeta's like mad competitive. I feel like that's me.
Very cocky as well.
Wait, you going for white Michael Jackson or black Michael Jackson?
You know what?
Man in the mirror.
Ask the real questions, bro. White Michael Jackson or black Michael Jackson?
Thriller Michael Jackson.
Thriller Michael was black.
Yeah, he's black.
Thriller Michael Jackson.
Right choice. You made the right choice. That's cool.
And Vegeta's a sore loser. So Vegeta's a sore loser. So I like that. Like, I feel like that sometimes.
Yeah.
When I'm playing like WWE 2K online and I lose to like a waste man or something, like, I just start pissed off. I start blaming the controller. Like, it's not me, man. It's the controller, innit? So.
But yeah, man. What else? Is there more questions?
All caught up in the talk.
I wanted to ask you one question. Who is the greatest wrestler that you've wrestled so far?
Yeah.
That I've wrestled.
That you've wrestled, that you could say, mate, you were amazing in the ring. We blended well. There was chemistry. Like, I enjoyed wrestling with you.
I said the best Pete Dunne, without a shadow of a doubt. There's no competition. He's like the best wrestler I've ever wrestled. Like, he made me look like a credible wrestler when at the time I was very green. And he's got a really good mind for wrestling. Like, that's why he is where he is. He's like the top British wrestler alive at the moment. So he's definitely by far the best wrestler I've ever wrestled. In terms of like wrestlers like I have chemistry with, though, that's probably a different question because when you ever wrestled Pete once, I think to have chemistry with someone you have to work with them a couple of times and then for them to like know your stuff. I'll probably say OJMO, probably.
He's sick.
Is he a Riptide, that guy? Has he been up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen this guy. Yeah, I've seen him before.
Yeah, he's really he's like a fantastic wrestler. He's really good, and because I've trained with him, I know all his stuff. He knows all my stuff, and we've only wrestled each other once. So we meant to wrestle each other twice. The second time he had to pull out because of injury, but we wrestled each other once, and it was just had this like good wrestling chemistry and stuff, and like you come one of them guys where I think I could just go out there and wrestle and not call anything with him, and we'd have like a really good match because we know each other's stuff so well. I'll probably add Connor Mills to that list as well. I've wrestled him once. I think like he's another guy where I think I could just wrestle, just like they put us in a ring together without any kind of planning or anything. I think we'd have a really good match. I used to have quite a few matches with Jack Sexsmith, and we used to have really good England chemistry because we've known each other for like quite a long time. We've wrestled each other quite a bit as well. But he's sadly had to retire with injury. So I'll probably say best Pete in terms of chemistry, OJMO, Connor Mills.
Fair. Yeah, man. I can't believe. Yeah, I'm happy you said Pete Dunne. He's amazing. That's my guy.
He's a big advocate.
Man. Pete Dunne. I've got a weird persona. I'm a weird person. But yeah, Pete Dunne. He's amazing. He is amazing.
Is there anyone that you haven't had a chance to wrestle yet that you're like looking to wrestle in the near future?
I don't really know, because like I have a list of wrestlers that I keep in my house. Basically, I don't tell anyone about my list because I don't want people to get big headed or whatever. But people a list of people I want to tick off that I want to wrestle that I haven't wrestled, or if I have wrestled them, I want to wrestle them again, kind of thing. And I've ticked a lot of people off that list that I wanted to. There's only like a few on there, like, and it's difficult now because a couple guys on there. Tyler Bates on there. I can't see myself wrestling him anytime soon. Will Ospreay's on there. I can't see myself wrestling him anytime soon.
Fair.
Other than that, probably Trent Seven or Dan Maloney.
Fair.
I think.
Yeah, I like Trent Seven as well. He's funny.
So, again, Trent Seven probably be a difficult one as well because he's obviously with NXTUK, and I won't have the opportunities as such to maybe wrestle him. I don't even know if how much longer he's going to be wrestling. I don't know if he's wind down his career or what have you. But Dan Maloney is definitely one that's more likely, and one I definitely want to wrestle. So
sick, man. And in terms of obviously adding on to that, do you see yourself in like another promotion overseas in the years to come? For example, like a TNA, a Ring of Honor, AEW, you know, other than other promotion other than WWE.
I'm open to wrestling wherever. Like, I want to make wrestling my full-time job because it isn't at the moment. I have to work a dead 9 to 5, like a normal person.
Yeah.
I want to make wrestling my kind of one source of income, and I want to do that by signing with someone. WWE has always been like the ultimate goal for me since I've been a kid. It's what I've watched since I was a kid. But if the opportunity came for me to wrestle for like Impact, I'd love to do it. AEW, I'd absolutely love to wrestle for AEW. I watch AEW. I think that sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
So I know quite a few people who work there now. Like Jimmy works there, Kip works there, Sadie Gibbs works there. I've known all them guys. Sugar Dunkerton had a match with them recently, and I know him quite well. So like there's someone there somewhere I'd love to work because they have a really, really good show, like really good alternative product, and they look after their guys really well as well. They don't burn them out, and like they wrestle like once a week max.
Okay, that's good.
And like if they're not on the show, they don't have to go to the show, kind of thing. So they don't have to travel so much. Which it's a great lifestyle if you're a wrestler. If you've got like a nice big juicy contract and you're wrestling, like you're working twice a month.
Yeah, you're winning.
And the rest of the time, yeah, that's nice. So I love to work there. I'd love to go to Japan. I've never like like the whole culture. I've never experienced it. Really kind of intrigues me and stuff. I want to be able to wrestle and travel and see places I haven't seen before. So like kind of New Japan, I'd love to work there as well. Like I love wrestling. Like I have no kind of I guess prejudice over which company I wrestle for.
Sure.
Like I said, WWE has always been like the aim and the goal. But if someone else came in and offered me a contract and the opportunity to wrestle and travel the world, I'd snap it up by the hand off. So
I don't blame you.
Why not?
Yeah.
It'll be 60
exactly money happy neck.
It'll be 60.
That's exactly how I look at it. Sorry?
I was saying it'll be sick to see in New Japan though.
Oh man, I'd love
definitely.
to Japan. Like, I'd love to do like even just like one tour of Japan. Like
bro.
Yeah, I'd love to do it.
Yeah,
because I'm sure they don't know too much about like South London in Japan.
Yeah. It'd be nice for you to go there.
I've just shown the levels in Japan.
Yeah, that would be sick. I think Versi has a question for you.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got a two-part question. So, what match of yours would you recommend to someone who's never seen the stuff? And what match would you recommend to someone who's never seen wrestling? It can be a match of yours as well.
So a match of mine, if someone's never seen my stuff, I'd probably say I had a match recently with Rampage Brown at Everything Pound. So like the show we did for Black History Month in October. Yeah, I'd probably show them that match if I show people a match of my own. I would have said the match with Pete Dunne, but it's such a long time ago, and like I've changed so much as like a wrestler and that much, and that's still so. But yeah, I'd say the match with Rampage for my own stuff. Probably a match for someone who's not seen wrestling. I'd probably just show them this year's Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like this year's Royal Rumble match. Like, I think Royal Rumble matches are fun anyway. Yeah, so, like, you're introduced to so many different characters within one match. You know, it's kind of encompasses everything that, like, kind of for WWE anyway.
Of course.
If you're thinking, oh, I want to get someone to watch WWE, it's like they get an introduction to pretty much the whole roster in one match. It's exciting. It's not a lot of like rest periods and stuff. It's like all action kind of thing. And
yeah.
That's you get to see everyone, and it's yeah. I'd probably say that it's quite easy to sit down and watch a Royal Rumble. Everyone loves Royal Rumble.
Everyone. I've never actually thought of it like that because
everyone.
I've never actually thought of it like that because whenever someone asks me what's a match I could recommend, I always say something like Mankind versus Undertaker, Hell in a Cell, or the Triple Threat. I know what man's gonna try to say. Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, vice versa. But do you know what it is? It's like Royal Rumble actually introduces you to a lot of characters, and you kind of like have a favorite that you wanted to win, even if you're not even a wrestler.
Yeah, definitely.
I want this guy to win because this guy's been working hard. Do you get what I mean? And he doesn't win, then you're like, flip, my bet's gone, so I got to bet for another guy, and it's like a hot take.
You have to follow a story as you go along. Yeah, and exactly. It makes it like exactly. I was about to say next. Like, it's very easy to follow stories in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Like you watch this year's one, for example, it's like the champions decide he wants to be in it, and everyone's trying to take him out.
Yeah.
And then one person takes him out, and everyone's kind of rooting for him to win it. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So yeah, I'd say that's
the story behind it.
Yeah. So
speaking of your event, from I know that you presented the Everything Pattern event. How did that happen? Like that was in Leicester. Right?
So I had this idea in my head for like a while. Like I wanted to do a wrestling show that featured like basically an all black card. So who will I have on it? And I sat in the right side and I just had it in my wallet. I didn't have the contacts, so I don't have like the right, like you need to get licensing, all that sort of stuff to be able to run wrestling shows. So I just thought, whatever. Like, it's like a dream show. I wrote this dream card out, put it in my wallet, whatever, thought about it. And then about a week later, I got this email from Wrestling VRSYJNES saying, look, we want to do a show for Black History Month. Are you interested? And I was like, yeah. Well, actually, I had written out this card ready for the show. And then I emailed them the card and like, oh, okay, kind of thing. And then basically we pretty much got everyone on that card on the show, actually. So that's literally how it happened. I had this idea, and then they also had this idea, and they just came to me with it, and they said, look, we'll give you like full control of the whole show. We'll just give you the platform to run it. So I was like, great, I can run this show that I wanted to do, and I don't have to spend a penny. So that's literally how it happened. And then
sick.
And it was, I didn't really realize the significance or impact of it until like the show happened itself. Like the show sold out, which was like a big deal in itself. And then like little things like wrestlers messaging me on the day, like, congratulations for like the show and whatever. That's like people who weren't involved in it, like people who weren't even black guys, like Chris Brooks, for example, he messaged me saying, "Oh, like, congratulations, you've done like something really good," kind of thing. And like Eddie Dennis put a tweet out saying like, "Congratulations on like success, everything planned," and all this sort of stuff. And like, it had like a bigger effect than I thought it would. Like people came up to me after the show and was like, "This is the first wrestling show I've ever been to." They brought their kids who'd never seen wrestling outside WWE, like, you know, young black kids who'd never seen a British wrestling show, and they're now going to come and watch more because of the show they've seen.
Yeah, of course.
People from like America who hadn't seen much of British wrestling, but they stumbled across the show and they didn't realize that British wrestling has so many like black wrestlers. Like people all over the country didn't realize that we had these amount of guys on our show, and so it put a spotlight on people that don't really get kind of their name out there, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to do it. Getting more people to come to shows is another reason, and getting kind of like, you know, black people who don't go to shows to come in, because I got a lot of friends who watch WWE, and not even just black guys, just people people from ends who watch wrestling, but they don't go to British wrestling shows because they're like, A, they don't know it exists, B, they go to them, they're like, well, you know, wrestling's good or whatever, but I don't want to go and see a show where there's like one black person on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to go and see a show where there's like, you know,
no black people on either.
Like the whole 95% of the rosters is white. Not because of any like kind of issues with race or whatever, but it's just like I want to see people who I can identify with.
Yeah, no, we get it.
Again, going back to why I kind of stuck with the gimmick I had is because to get people to identify with a different type of person. So that was kind of the reason why I wanted to do it, and like the response I got from it was kind of overwhelming, really. So,
is that something you'd get into, like promoting events?
I'd need to have a lot of time on my hands. Like everything pattern itself was like it took quite a lot of up on my time. So it took a lot of my time up. And that's me doing it with like a wrestling company. If I was doing it on my own, it'd have to almost be like a full-time job. I'd have to dedicate to it, because there's a lot of work, and promoting wrestling shows, like, there isn't a guarantee you're going to make any money from it. In most cases, you're probably going to like break even, if anything. So if I got to a point where I was making wrestling my full-time living, and I didn't have to think about other things, then I probably would do it. I'm thinking about doing it again, like, in all honesty. But if I still need to have that backing of like another wrestling promotion to do it. I can't do it on my own. But
of course,
it's good. It's called everything pattern, though, because you had everything pattern.
Literally, yeah. Literally.
How do we get booked? I want us to jump in an 8-man tag match. Man on it.
If you come to like wrestling school that I train at, Knucklelocks in Brixton, see how you work.
In Brixton?
See, yeah.
Alright, cool. Man's there.
I'll become a manager, but you see me, I want to become a manager. I don't mind becoming physical in the ring, like. I don't mind throwing people
that's
around.
My role still. I ain't wrestling.
Man can take 1-2 bumps in that. But
same.
I can cut a good
you just need to learn to take. You learn how to take a couple bumps, and then you can just do the rest talking. As long as you know how to take a couple bumps, you're good. Right?
I think one thing I can't
commentator or a referee
slap on the chest. The chest.
Sure.
I can't do it.
No, I got that from young, but that's light.
To hold a water chop.
I can't do it.
I've been getting that from the young.
I was watching that Chris Benoit documentary in it, and Chris Jericho's like, one of the ways that these lot try to hack like hard hits and stuff is that they tense their neck and stuff. But knowing me, I'll forget to tense my neck, and I'm just getting whacked like that, and I'm like, oh, I'm actually in pain. You get what I mean? So yeah,
I'll be a referee. I'm just taking a small bump and you're out for the whole match, bro. That's me done. Hey.
Out for the whole match, bro.
Chops aren't pretty, to be fair. They're not nice, but
yeah.
What's the worst bump you've taken? Do you remember it?
I don't know, because like with wrestling, like the worst bump. Okay, so I took a suplex from the outside to the inside of the ring that really hurt at the time from Rampage Brown. I remember when it happened, I was like, "Oh, that didn't feel right. That really hurt." And so that's probably the worst one. Like I've taken a table bump, and that was actually not that bad. I got put through the table, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Not that bad." I've taken a bump on thumbtacks. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like it hurt, but it's kind of because it's all spread like an air, like there's like tacks just spread about, and there's like multiple of them. It's like a little pinch. When you get one in your hand, that kills. It's weird. It's like you can bump onto like thousands of them, and they're like, oh, okay, it's not too bad. I just kind of brush it out of my back or whatever. Put your hand in one of them, agony. I don't understand.
I could never.
So I took a shield bomb through thumbtacks, and what hurt the most was when I went to get back up, I pushed my hand into the ring, and I pushed my hand into like.
That's what I've always wondered. You see on wrestling, you see people get put to thumbtacks. Yeah, do you you obviously just answered my question? Do some wrestlers actually forget that the thumbtacks is on the floor? Like they put their knees on it. I've seen wrestlers put their knees on it by accident, and they press their hands on it. And obviously, yeah, you just said that. It's just it's mad, isn't it?
But how do you prepare for a tap bomb? Like, you have to do like deep breaths before you go for the attacks.
See, you just have to, like with everything wrestling, you just have to go for it. If you have any bit of like hesitation,
fuck up.
That's when you fuck things up, and that's when it hurts.
Yeah.
Like, I just have to be like, okay, well, I'm gonna be powerbombed through these thumbtacks now, so get ready. And the thing is that as well, it's not something you practice ever or learn to do in training. You just have to take it. Yeah, just got to take it.
Bro. Crazy, bro. I commend you, man. Big respect, man. That is mad.
You see thumbtacks when they're not locking in, the man goes, "Hey, yo, in 5 minutes into the match, we're gonna put you through thumbtacks." I'm like, "Yo, bro, I can't like it. I'm not here for that, bro. Just hit me with a chair. Just hit me with a chair."
I'm not like a deathmatch kind of guy, so that's not kind of my kind of wrestling or whatever. But I do it if it has a reason. If there's a reason for it to be done. If there's like a big feud or something, and like me and this guy I'm working with, we want to kill each other, so we're going to settle our feud in a death match.
Yeah, the build up.
If I've got if there's a build to it, I'll do it. That's fine. If the WrestleMania, happily I'll take that tank bump. I'll take it off a ladder.
Take on the pre-show.
No, I respect that, man. Just for that moment, that WrestleMania moment, everyone wants that. Everyone wants that. Yeah. So yeah, I do respect that, man.
That's true. So I said WrestleMania.
So I think that, but like, I can't think of anything that's like, there's nothing like, touch wood. I've been quite lucky. Nothing's injured me in wrestling, like bump wise. I've only ever had one injury in wrestling, and that's from catching someone on a dive, and I put them down onto my own foot.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I sprained my ankle quite badly. That's the only injury I've ever had in wrestling, touch wood. So like bump wise, you take it hurts, you forget about it. So
yeah, fair.
You got to continue.
It's just part of the business, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the mad thing. You got to continue with the match as well.
That's the thing. You have to carry on with the match as well, isn't it?
Trust me, you can't stop, bro. You can't show any
like when I had that suplex I was telling you about, I wanted to stop the match. I was like, this hurts. This really hurts, but carried on, and then that's fine. When I did my ankle, we finished the match, which was pretty stupid, but because I thought it was broken at the time, and finished the match, and then just strapped it up and I put ice in it or whatever. But no, I'm here.
Good. Thank God.
The show, to an extent, the show must go on, but not if you're like knocked out or whatever. Then that's.
I remember a few years ago when Sin Cara had a match and he broke his finger. I think it was Alberto.
I think I saw
VRSYJNES might be able to correct me.
SmackDown. He was like,
and he broke his finger like mid-match.
Yeah.
Ouch.
And he said, "No, I'm not doing it." And everyone was pissed off because like usually you finish the match, but I mean, Where if it hurts that much, like you've broken your finger, like if you want to get the match finished, you might as well.
Look, Triple H wrestled with a torn biceps. No, sorry, tricep. Yeah, biceps. Sorry. No, quad. Pectoral. Sorry. Quad. That's it. Yeah, sorry.
I think he did tear his pectoral as well. I think.
Yeah.
That match with the Saudi one.
Yeah, Taker, Shawn, Kane.
Blacks are heavy. With that tag match, that horrible.
Yeah.
In Saudi.
But other sports, if someone gets injured, they're out of the game. So why should wrestling continue? It doesn't.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
It's kind of like someone breaks their leg in the UFC. Do they carry on fighting? Like, no, the fuck it's
It's true.
No,
they cut off. The ref jumps in, though.
No, they cut off. The doctor must stop it. They can't continue. That's impossible.
When Anderson Silva broke his leg, they had to stop the match.
Yeah. Can't even think about it now. You see when Psycho Sid jumped off the top rope, and I think it was Scott Steiner.
That scares me till today.
They cut the match off, innit? The match was done.
They cut the match.
I think Scott Steiner had to pin him. You had to pin him, bro.
He pinned him straight away.
Just get in the match. Don't even pin him, man.
That was horrific.
I don't want to think about that one. That was disgusting.
That was horrific.
That
was horrific.
Who's got better pounds, you or Mojo Rowley?
Me.
Oh, thank God you said that.
I can't lie, yeah. I was watching your show, the show that you put on your Twitter. Hey, fam, you was pouncing bare mad, fam. I was like, bro. And there was even a pass in slow motion as well. I was like, eee. I look sick, fam.
I've got the best pounds in wrestling, maybe. I don't know.
Where?
I think so, anyway. So.
Okay.
Me or Keith Lee?
I was gonna say Keith Lee. Yeah, I was gonna say Keith Lee. Still, that's mad, fam. Are you looking forward to WrestleMania?
My pounds different because I come off my feet. So I am. I'm intrigued more than anything to see because they're gonna I think they'll put it out of the bag. I think.
Yeah.
They'll even though it's already been taped and there's probably spoilers about or whatever, but I managed to avoid them. It's WrestleMania at the end of the day. Yeah. I know there's not going to be any fans there or whatever, and that's a bit weird, but they'll make it memorable.
Yeah.
So
it's WWE, innit? I guess so. You can't really doubt it. I've just been a bit skeptical about this year's WrestleMania. I just think to cancel it. I'm thinking you just love your money too much.
I really think that WWE.
But the thing is, if they cancel it,
yeah.
Can I say that again?
So if they cancel it, they've been building. I think there's been storylines building up to it. So storylines have to.
Yeah, they have to
finish, have to be paid off, and then if they pause WWE after that, then okay, it's fine. But they need to put a full stop on these stories they've been telling for the last however many months or whatever.
Yeah.
But then after that, it doesn't make sense for them to carry on with shows, to be honest, because. Yeah. Wrestlers, how can you social distance with someone if you're touching? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Literally.
My only thing is that obviously Goldberg won is it Universal? Not Universal.
It was Universal. Yeah.
He won the Universal. Yeah. He won the Universal title at Saudi. Yeah. And he lost. Obviously Bray lost it, innit? And now that there's been a build up with him against Roman. Roman's now dropped out. Are they apparently looking to replace Roman with someone else, bruv? That's just gonna make things just more complicated than what it is.
Apparently with Braun Strowman, apparently.
For the championship.
Version have lost the title then.
I don't mind though.
That's what I'm trying to say. See, that's the point I was coming to.
Braun.
Version have lost the title.
One Braun, man.
Don't let me start talking about Braun again,
One Braun, man.
All right. You know what? I like Braun Strowman, innit? But yeah, that's another conversation.
I'd rather Zack Ryder. What the heck? Braun Strowman.
Wow. Okay. Big up Zack Ryder and everything. But
Braun Strowman ain't been good since 2017, fam.
Allow it now.
Has he been good, bro? Can we be honest here? Just go.
Who? Braun.
Man.
When Braun came onto the scene, that was the only guy who.
You can't win the big one. He's never gonna win the big one, fam. Allow it.
He will.
You never know.
He will.
2024, yeah. This guy, fam.
Not 2024, bro, man. Give it another year or so. I think Braun is sick. I think he's actually sick. Do you understand? I actually think he's amazing.
What's your favourite move from Braun?
For Braun. When he does that flying drop kick.
When he gets pinned 1, 2, 3, fam.
When he goes to Brock through halfway across the ring. Listen, see with Braun, yeah, he's a very intimidating presence, bro. Like,
okay, I'll give it that.
Nah, I don't think he is anymore.
No, how can he be intimidated when he's tagging with an 8-year-old, fam? Can we stop, bro?
He's a big guy. Like,
he's a big guy, yeah.
What was the Big Show and them lot doing? Actually, no, they were tagging with 8-year-olds. But still, at the end of the day, Braun, you've still got to respect Braun.
I'm more scared of Babatunde than I am scared of Braun. And Babatunde's even going to be in the wrestling. Is going to be in that new WWE main event movie as well.
Yeah. You lot taking a piss, bro.
You got Babatunde,
my brother.
Braun Strowman ain't in the film.
Sorry, I think Roy's bare confused.
Braun was part of the Wyatt family. I don't want to hear it. Please, I don't want to hear it.
Where's the Wyatt family now? And where's the Wyatt family now?
There's like
Where's the Wyatt family now?
Wait. Someone explain to Roy.
Where's the Wyatt family now?
Wait.
In a split.
Wait, you got to bring him Roy because you don't know what's going on.
Is this some like pre-existing banter about Braun Strowman?
No, about basically, you know the NXT superstar Babatunde.
No, Babatunde.
Yeah.
Babatunde. That's our guy, innit?
We were rooting from time, fam. From the first episode, bro. Like, we want Babatunde to like do well on WWE, fam. Because he's Nigerian, and he's African.
What is this Babatunde, fam?
Fam, it's only
Polish, isn't he? I saw he's Polish.
He's Polish, Nigerian.
Don't do this.
Right.
Yeah.
That cannot be a gimmick. I can't accept it.
No. He's actually Polish Nigerian.
Yeah, it's Polish Nigerian.
Polish Nigerian, yeah.
Okay.
Nigerian still. Polish is a
Yeah, Babatunde Ajibesu. Yeah.
Nigerians are just everywhere, man.
Yeah.
he goes with the Polish. He's more like he takes the Polish side.
But yeah, Babatunde is our guy. We want him to win all the championships, every single one. And Braun, we have a hate-love thing with him. So.
Yeah, it's a hate and love thing.
We've been wanting him to win, but it's too late now.
Yeah. But Babatunde is the greatest. No argument.
Yeah, man. I think we're coming to the end of the podcast now. But is any more questions, guys? Any more?
Not at the moment.
I've got one more question. Who do you think is going to be the person to defeat Walter for the WWE UK Championship?
No one.
At this point, I have no idea.
Yeah.
No one.
It's a tough one as well because there's a lot of he's had a lot of people challenge him for it, and no one's taken it off him yet.
Walter's the greatest wrestler in the world. I've said this anyway. He is the absolute greatest wrestler in the world. Yeah, that's my view.
Woo! Let's come on. We've got to wrap up. I don't want to go into it.
V, let's not even get into this argument. I swear to you. It's because I've been goes from the podcast. I haven't said my opinions.
I want to say
let Roy answer this.
I want to say Finn. I want to say Finn Balor or Tyler. I can't.
I definitely see Finn. There's going to be an event in Dublin, right?
Yeah. I'll say Finn. Like,
okay, yeah,
he's the only one who's not faced him yet. So,
Finn's a shot.
Yeah, I think Finn.
I want Finn to win. So Jordan Devlin can beat him. I want to see Jordan Devlin as the UK champion.
That'd be good. That'd actually be good.
I want to see Finn would be a good feud. That'd be a sick feud. That'd be dope, man.
But yeah, man. Roy, if you want to just plug yourself, give us your socials, where people can find you when your next event is.
Thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah, thank you for coming
on.
Yes,
thank you for having me. Thank you for giving me an hour and a bit entertainment while I'm on lockdown. Otherwise, I'm just watching Marvel films. So you can find me on all my social medias at Roy Johnson. Yeah. That's on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I don't know when this is coming out, but if it's before WrestleMania, I'm going to be on House Party during WrestleMania. So I'll tweet that out when it comes to the time. I haven't actually set it up yet, but
lovely, man.
It'd be good idea while everyone's on lockdown if we're all out watching WrestleMania together all the time. Have a So So, I'll be doing that.
Yeah. Last question, yeah.
Sure. Go ahead.
Lockdown. Have you got all your food? Have you got all your tissue paper? Have you got all?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Like, I'm good. Like before I went to Miami, I did a big food shop on muscle foods. My freezer's full of meat. I got bagels in the fridge. I got packs of rice in the cupboard. I'm good.
Nice.
I got my toilet paper. I'm nice. Like, I've got everything.
Got big.
I'm not worried.
Rice, yeah. Rice at home or microwave rice? Just hit me with the realness.
I got both.
Okay, calm.
Bags of basmati rice. I got microwave rice. I've not had to. I'm not had to be involved in that madness going to the supermarkets for a good few weeks now, so I'm all right. Like, I'm not had to worry. I walk past my Audi every day looking at these people queuing.
It's not
6 feet apart from each other. Thinking, nope, not me.
No.
Yeah, look at them like peasants. Look at you.
Yeah, not me. I'm good for a few weeks still.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, once again, appreciate for giving us the time to interview and bring into our wrestling, like basically the wrestlings. We call it the wrestlings community and stuff. So yeah, you're welcome to come over. Hopefully, when this Corona thing dies down, we actually want to get you into the studio and actually talk face to face.
Yes, man.
Obviously.
Yeah, definitely. I'm up for that. Definitely.
Better, man. And obviously,
we're definitely going to follow your journey as well, man.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to follow your journey from now on as well. And
hopefully there's a lot more to come from my journey because I don't know what's going to happen this year with wrestling, to be honest, because it's all a bit
all over the place.
Like when we don't know when people are going to be allowed to go out and socialize and stuff again, and people are going to have a little bit nervous, I think, to do what they were doing before. I think when we're allowed to, but I'm itching to get back and wrestle again. So I had big plans for this year, and coronavirus has kind of
it's messed up a lot of things for everyone. Believe me.
Yeah, it's messed them up. But we move. That's all we can do.
You just move. Literally, just move.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, guys. I've been Nafi.
Been Doughboy.
I've been Sam Blacks.
You've been in darkness,
Wresthings by the Mandem for the Mandem.
Mandem.
Bow.